and we're going to dive into today's questions and answers and car news. We're going to start off with the big news, obviously, BMW with the X5 all new design. It's going to have a smaller kidney grille. I think it looks a lot more aggressive in the rear. I kind of like the wheels. It's a little bit more sporty, and unfortunately there hasn't been any update with the horsepower and torque, but we have more or less confirmed that it is going to be the 4.4 liter V8 twin turbo, which is going to be derived more or less from the XM and the M5, but hopefully we'll have some more horsepower and torque, which would be awesome for that particular vehicle. And also with the refresh, it seems like BMW is going to continue to go down the same way. Hey Brian, how are you? Which the X7 is going to be getting an update, as well as the 5 Series, the i7, the i5, the iX5, which is the electric variant, and we'll have a more powerful variant, which is a M70. So I'm kind of excited to see, especially for the iX5. I think that's going to be pretty exciting because now it's going to have the electric styling. Hey Sean, good evening to you. But it's also going to have the gas variant. So I'm excited to see both two variants for the new X5 and getting the confirmation that it's still going to have the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. I think that's really exciting news because a lot of vehicles are going against this, where they're still kind of going to hybrid or battery operated vehicles, where at least BMW kind of gives you your poison, I guess, because you can get a full electric, you can get a hybrid, and you can get something that's basically ICE with mild hybrid technology. The M2, no manual for the CS, they're supposed to make around 2,000 units. Now, BMW has said, because they're pretty much selling out of them almost, that they may increase that due to demand. So I don't know how special it's going to be, considering they're just going to keep making them if people keep buying them. I'm not necessarily concerned about it. You might as well just call it an M2 CS and not make it like a special variant. But one exciting thing is the Nissan Armada Nismo. It's going to have 35 more horsepower than the regular Armada, 10 horsepower more than the Infiniti QX60, the same torque at 516 pound-feet. The interior, it's going to be a little bit more sporty with the red and black. It's going to have contrast throughout, so it has that sporty essence. It's still going to have the same towing capabilities at 8,500 pounds. But what is unique is you're getting the 22-inch wheels. That's basically only on the Platinum Reserved. But now we have a sport variant. We have the Pro 4X, which is an off-road variant. Plus, we also have a luxury variant, which would be the Platinum Reserve. Hawkeye, you the man, my boy. Thank you. So I'm actually really excited about that. We have the new Armada coming. I believe it's posting tomorrow, and the MC20 Cello will be on Monday on the channel on Hawkeye Rides. But I really found the Platinum Reserve like good value overall speaking. Now with the sport variant for the Nismo, I'm assuming it's going to be probably $10,000, $15,000 more, give or take, but it'll still be probably about $25,000 less than the Infiniti variant. Ram has confirmed the TRX in the first quarter for next year. So as soon as we get it, we're going to definitely bring it on the channel. I'm very excited to see that coming back. And also the Ram Warlock is returning with lower price and more options. And yes, they're going to have a Hemi, the 5.7 liter V8. And it's going to have a 1-inch lift with the 1-inch Bilston shocks with the skid plates, the whole 9 yards. You chat the... Okay, thank you. So I'm kind of excited to see those things also. Another vehicle, or actually Mercedes. This is... The CEO just released it, I think maybe a couple days ago, that the AMGs with the new V8 engine, they're going to just keep building them until customers don't want them. Customers never said they didn't want them. They just decided to change to these Turbo 4s. I mean, what do you guys think about it? I think it's a little ridiculous. Like, you get the C63 SE Performance, has a ton of power, but it's not the same as the V8 outgoing AMG engine. And usually when you go 63, that's a true AMG. So when you're going 53, then I can understand you get the inline 6. And if you go like 43, maybe a 4-cylinder, maybe. I don't know. Mercedes is just really weird. I'm just messing you, and awesome, mate. You do amazing stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then the BMW M3, that's going to also be for 2027. So that's going to have an all new variant. Should have more power. It's going to obviously look more aggressive. And they have confirmed they're going to have an electric M3. I don't know your take on that. But I mean, with BMW, they seem to sell relatively well. Any of their electric variants, I mean, I've personally driven the i5 M60. I have some reviews on it. And even when we went to the test track, me and Rizzy went, we got to test them out with the BMW team. Awesome vehicles. The range sucks, but you're not buying a Tesla. You're buying a car that's ICE, but now it's an electric variant. So I appreciate that because they're not going like this futuristic, but now they're taking a twist because they're putting this electric styling and changing the whole platform and putting it into the ICE variants. Went with an Audi A6 lease offer, my 530i lease, because didn't like the cut of the car. My next lease to 2027, back to BMW. Damn, I miss BMW next. Yeah, BMWs are great vehicles, very fun vehicles. The A6 is an awesome vehicle. It's the new one. It's the same platform as the A5. That's kind of the only con that I have there because it doesn't really make sense that you're getting basically the same vehicle. I hate electric no matter the brand. I'm not a huge electric fan either. I mean, if I'm looking for electric, I would probably go to like Tesla, Rivian, or Lucid because I think they're more inclined to that. These automotive industries changing everything, going into electric. The charging time sucks. The range isn't that good. We just did the Vistic Cadillac. Awesome vehicle. I actually still been talking about it to my family. We did it last week. And I just wish that they had a refresh XT6 because it's such a good vehicle, but it's electric. And I'm just not really for that movement. And where I live, they don't really have enough charging ports to really accept it. Even some of the dealerships are still adding charging ports because they only have like one. So if you get these electric variants, which when I was at Cadillac, they had, I don't know, like 20 of them all sitting in the front. Beautiful cars, interior plush. I like everything about it. We did the sport trim. It's going to be coming on the channel in a few weeks. And it's just, my thought is, you take it for service. They don't have a charging port there. So it's just something, I don't know. We don't have the infrastructure yet. Hello, how are you today? And then the other big news, we did release the Ford F-150 Lariat today, which I'm sure some of you guys have seen. It's over $70-some thousand, which brings me to the new F-150 Lobo, which is going to be $59,995. It is not the same as the 580 horsepower Lightning, so just keep that in mind. Audi is nice, like you said, and just got the B58 I hear so much about. Yeah, the B58 engine it's bulletproof. It's an awesome engine. And I mean, with BMW, the dynamics of the vehicle, it just stays planted, especially once you get the tires warmed up. And surprisingly, you don't have to go to like a Pirelli tire. I found that the Michelin Cup 4s, they actually hold really well on those, and the burn rate is relatively well. Going back to the F-150, we're going to have a 5.0 liter. So 400 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. It's really just a styling kit. It's going to be lower, 22-inch wheels. I mean, whatever you guys' take is on that, that's a lot of money. Yes, it is a lot of money. $59,000, basically $60,000, and it's literally just the same F-150 with a styling kit. With a 2027 5, I'm guessing that's Series B, new design. So it may skip, because the way it looks like with BMW is 2027, we're going to have the X5, and the X7 should be refreshed as well. And then it's going to go down the tier. So probably 2028, we'll see the 5 Series, and then you'll see the 7 Series as well as the i5 and the i7. Mazda RX-9. Yeah, awesome. I think Mazda right now, they're doing an excellent job with all of their vehicles. It's definitely coming into play with not just giving some more sportness, they're doing a lot more engineering with their engines, as well as giving full hybrid trims. And for like the CX-50, I think they're doing a fabulous job with that. The CX-5 is coming out with a refresh, but it's still up in the air what powertrain's going to be in there, whether it's the Toyota or theirs. With all that money, you buy a whole... Oh, District of Guy. Well, that sounds pretty nice for a vacation. And Audi also is planning on keeping ICE vehicles alive past 2033. So that's good. They're going to scale back a little bit on their electric line. There's one of the few companies that's been on my point for 30 years. I own a NA, NB, and a 3 Mazda Speed. Oh, wow, Mazda Speed. Yeah, that's nice. 6 and 3s. Waiting for the new RX to see if it's worth it for a new car. It's still really in the works. So it's still too soon on that particular vehicle. I would say, even when it does come out, maybe wait 6 months to a year so they work out some of the kinks, because it's going to be completely new, which I think it's going to be awesome. And I like the direction that Mazda's going. BMW is supposedly keeping the Z4 M40i. They're going to keep it for another year-ish. They've postponed the date till 2026 now for the last making of that. So with these newer vehicles, I like that they're still kind of pushing off dates, so they're not, closing them off. And like I said, with Mazda, I feel they're one of the more innovative vehicle companies right now because they're not really having a lot of issues. Plus, they're coming out with a lot of new designs, a lot of new technology. They're coming out with some new sports cars. I think it's going to really move that brand forward quickly. I kind of wish Mini would start doing something to that same direction, because I feel like they went backwards a little bit. Unless you go into like a JCW, you're kind of losing that Mini vibe. Honda and Nissan are teaming up again, but the major reason why is also to offset the tariff costs, which surprisingly, they're still increasing pricing, as everyone's noticed. If you've been to the dealerships lately, you're starting to see 1,000 here and there. Not so much on the 25 variants, but all the 26 have been increasing. BMW, the 26 variants have increased, but that's also because it's the next year. And I've seen an increase on the pricing about 3 to 4%. So it's very marginal. It's not that much at all. And with Nissan, I've actually seen the opposite. They've been kind of decreasing the pricing, except for their new variants. And I am going to be excited to see the new Pathfinder when that starts coming out. No one's actually even talking about the new Pathfinder, which we just are now getting the new QX60. It's not really a new variant. It's just kind of updated, but the updates are pretty nice. I think that they're going the right direction. They're getting the Google system, but then they're going backwards with the powertrain. They're still doing the VC turbocharged engine, which I have a comparison of the Pathfinder and the QX60. I believe that comes out tomorrow. And Issa has joined us.
Good.
How are you, Issa?
Good.
So what do you think about the RX Mazda?
What is this?
The Mazda, the new sports car?
Oh, the RX-7
Yes,
concept?
yes.
I think it's going to be a flop.
I mean, I don't know. If they go kind of, I hate to say, the same direction that they went before and make it just a little bit more performance, obviously, I think it'll be good.
I don't know. It may be a
Oh,
flop.
like, is the rotary?
Yeah, not only that, but they're trying to label it as a supercar. It's not really.
Yeah, the supercar thing, I don't know what the heck they're thinking about that. I think that's a little much, especially with the engine that they're planning on putting in there.
Yeah,
That
rotary.
rotary, yeah. But otherwise, I think it's awesome. I don't know if it's going to be quite the Mazda Speed. I don't think it's going to be at that level, unfortunately. I mean, I would hope to see it, and it could, because Mazda has been doing some really crazy things, like with the CX-90 giving the inline six and just changing everything completely, even the suspension to it. Like, they've actually did a really good job with that particular car, but it's a huge SUV also. But then with some of the technology, some of the designs, I don't know. I'm kind of going against some of the styling of all this electric stuff. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm really getting sick and tired of seeing a futuristic car with all of these TV screens. It almost takes away from the feel of driving a car anymore. If I want to have my phone with me everywhere, it's already in my pocket. When I'm in a car, I want to just kind of enjoy it. Get on the road, drive to where I need to go, listen to my music because I have a great sound system, maybe the exhaust note instead of these damn Turbo 4s. But they seem to be doing the complete opposite. I mean, what's your take, Issa?
Well, with electric cars,
No, just gas variants, no, the ICE.
I mean, I don't like how they're making it all 4-cylinder engines. I also don't like how Europe's removing carbon fiber.
Yeah, that actually is a big thing. BMW now has a new carbon fiber,
Yeah,
a
plant-based.
plant-based carbon fiber, which will be in the 2026 variants or the 2027 variants.
It's also lighter.
Yeah, so I think it's cool that they're doing this stuff, but I don't know, until we
gonna
actually
have
see it.
Problems.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the first year, anybody that's looking to get a new BMW for 2027, I would recommend waiting at least 6 months to a year so they kind of work out the kinks, especially with the new carbon fiber, because that plant-based, I mean, I don't know, it could go either way. It's definitely new technology, and I'm excited that they're getting a lot more power variants. Hello, how are you? But even with like their older, like the iX, for instance, a lot of the vehicles recycled materials. I actually appreciate that when it comes to, getting an electric variant instead of adding new plastic. It's all recycled materials. I think it is better. I don't like pumping exhaust to the speakers. Yeah, I'm with you, Sean. I think that's enough is enough with it. I'm okay with the electric things that they do. I think it's cool, but after you buy it, you probably won't be using it that much, maybe to help with some sound deadening. But the pumping in the actual exhaust with these V8s, just give us an actual exhaust. And Audi this year is finally giving us exhaust for the rear, but they're still filtering exhaust through the speakers, the sound, and it's just, I don't know. You like that?
No, I don't
The
like that.
burbles and stuff. I don't know.
It depends on the car. If it's like a,
I mean,
if it's a
exhaust.
V8,
Exhaust really makes a vehicle, and when you start going into like a V8, you add a twin turbo to it, you got crazy horsepower. You just want something that sounds nice. I mean, I guess that's why we end up buying Italian cars. I hate to say it that way, but they typically have real exhaust. Now, obviously, when you hit the sport button, it opens it up fully, but I don't know. I'm just not really so satisfied with that either. I think, Sean, you're 100% right with that one.
well, with
Exhaust filtering in through the speakers.
I don't think it's anything bad about it. It's kind of pretty popular.
That's because you're young. Once you pass in the 30s and 40s, you want to actually hear the engine
I mean, you can hear the engine.
through a speaker. In the new Golf, what are you thinking about that? It's they've already put it on a pedestal. It's supposed to be the fastest Golf ever. I don't know if I'm quite excited or not with Volkswagen. I feel like they're in some of their vehicles. It's better you get Volkswagen than Audi. It seems to be the case nowadays, especially like if you're going to the new Q3. The Tiguan is literally like the same vehicle, and you can save like 10 grand. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
I'm not a fan of Volkswagen.
You don't like Volkswagen? Your grandfather has one. He has the
Atlas.
the Atlas. Yeah, Atlas. He didn't get the Cross Sport though, and he has the he has a R. He has a SEL R line premium. Wow, it's a $60,000 for a Volkswagen. But he has the V6, so he has the more powerful variant. He doesn't have that Turbo 4 like everything is. I don't know. It sucks. All these vehicles getting these Turbo 4s. We have the QX60 autograph, and we put about 900-ish miles on it. And I have found all the kinks that you could really find with that car. I've actually shown it to you guys yesterday quite a bit, where the VC turbocharged, the compression ratio kind of forgets where it's at, and it just sits there rivving up, and you go nowhere. And then you have to literally try to use the paddle shifts, but then it won't let you use the paddle shifts. So you're stuck. You can't go anywhere. You're literally just with the high RPM, the car's screaming like a vacuum cleaner, but you're not going nowhere. And it takes like 2 to 3 seconds of hesitation, and then it changes gears for you because it won't let you use the paddles, and then you can finally move. So it's as if it's like 2 turbos and a 4-cylinder, which is way overkill. I know it's not 2 turbos. It's an extra pulley, but it's too much. You saw it. Can't even get in front of a damn semi-truck. And I was all about it at first. I said, you know what, this is going to be good, especially for YouTube, because now we can really show that these Turbo 4s, they can maneuver. But that VC turbocharged sucks. I hate to say it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lawnmower.
Yeah. And I tried it today with sport mode, and the damn thing wouldn't go off a high RPM. It went to like 7 RPM, it would not change gears. And I'm using the paddles. The paddles won't work.
I mean, the paddle shift isn't that kind of useless.
Yeah, I think it just sucks. It can be good once you figure out how to drive it, I guess. It's a little bit slower than the V6. You guys will see on the review that I have the comparison between the V6 and the VC Turbocharged 4. I have the Pathfinder, which they did not go that route. And funny enough, Nissan is boasting about the V6 engine, but then in Infinity, they're dropping it to a 4-cylinder engine. Just crazy. I don't understand that.
I mean, I didn't like the VC Charge 4-cylinder.
You're not a big Turbocharged 4. It's okay. I mean, when I drive it in the Toyota Grand Highlanders, it's not bad. I mean, you're getting a 0 to 60 in like forever, but it's still, it's okay. You're hitting like 3-4 RPMs to get everywhere. This guy, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna do some more. We've been doing some AI work with that on Supercar Throttle and MC Hawk on TikTok. So you guys got to watch it. We do some Sasquatch AI videos. The car companies changed the vehicles to Turbo 4s. They decrease the horsepower and increase the torque. Not a fan. Yeah. Hey, Jack, how are you? So you'll get pushed back, but you're not going nowhere. So you're literally like, whoa, like this. And it reminds me of those TikTok videos where they're showing the VTEC engine and the guy's shifting gears like this and he's going like 20 miles an hour. It's just...
Haven't Subaru's been using 4 cylinders for a long time?
Subaru does, but their torque ratio at a lower note is better. It's kind of like Mazda. So when you're driving a Mazda at under 60 miles per hour, it's fast. It's not fast like NASCAR or something or F1, but it's fast for a Turbo 4. But once you get up to like 65 and you're trying to go 80, well, now it's not at that level where it can still perform. It's not as a high performance vehicle or engine. It's not anywhere like a sports car engine. And that's really the issue they have. It's so underperformed, and then they boost the torque number so much so it can push the vehicle, but you still need the horsepower also. And then the way they have it ratioed, they try to put it at a lower note, so when you're going through traffic and you're buying the vehicle, you're like, wow, it's a fast car. But then try to go on the interstate daily. You're going to be like, man, this is irritating. I can't get over because it's too much of a lag. I am driving Nissan R34 Sky. Oh, wow, that's nice. Skyline GTR in South Korea still has great performance. That's awesome. And also, Honda is also doing it, but where they're doing the, those 3D printing to keep the parts on. So I'm assuming Nissan's going to go the same route since they're doing some teaming up together where they're going to make sure that they have the supplies for these vehicles. Built correctly, a good 4-cylinder could blow the doors off of a V8. I mean, it could go either way. I agree with you. You can get a lot of power out of a 4-cylinder. Mercedes has really confirmed that with their AMG, and they've went absolutely nowhere because nobody wants a 4-cylinder that's powerful. But I like the 4-cylinder to have the power, and I like the economics out of it because you can get great MPGs. But the way they build it, it's not built for, hello, how are you, for what they're selling it. They're literally going a cheaper route and throwing a small turbo on it so it doesn't go good. What? We're going to cut that one off. How do you do? There we go. We're going to just, there we go. I'll do that. Sorry, we have a interesting comment. There we go. I got removed. Perfect. I've got a fever in. Okay.
Huh?
We're gonna
just put them on timeout.
There we go. No, it's fine. We got it taken care of. So yeah, if they did something correctly with these Turbo 4s, then I would be perfectly fine with it. But when you're taking that same engine, for instance, the Infiniti QX60, you're getting a QX50 and 55 engine that it weighs more, the QX60, than the 50 and 55, but you're putting the same engine, same horsepower and torque. It's kind of a disaster. I need some money, help me. Oh, that's great for you. I drive my great uncle's POS, rust bucket. Okay, that's great.
Lada.
No power steering. It's easy to rip.
Okay,
Okay, that's all right. Well,
that's very
interesting
Lada.
enough. Yeah, I guess that happens, once you start getting more people coming in. Sorry for some of the interesting comments that's coming into play. But I don't know. I prefer a V6 inline six engine. BMW does a good job with that. Cadillac was doing a pretty good job with that, but they're going more or less with this electric stuff as well. Every manufacturer is building smaller engines and turbos to get government standards big. Yes, that's 100% correct. I say it even on my reviews. But that being said, they could have done things years ago. They've been making the same technology and same engines for over 10, 20, 30 freaking years. So when we blame government and this and that, we need to start looking at the auto industry too. Like, they can do things to get better MPGs. I mean, for God's sakes, you got a V8 with like 305 horsepower or 400 horsepower. What the hell is that? You get V6 twin turbos with standard 405, 450 horsepower. So for me, it irritates me that the auto industry doesn't change that design and make more performance numbers and make it more economical, because clearly they're doing it for the gas companies and nobody to benefit for us. Sorry about this. Just trying to, there we go. So, I mean, it could go either way. Throwing these small engines with turbos is literally like getting an extension cord because you don't want to call an electrician to put a new receptacle in your house. If you're going to be lazy and cheap, that's what the auto industry is doing, then they should discount the prices for the vehicles. Otherwise, they should have been looking at new technology. Like when the VC turbocharged engine came out, it literally took them, 20 years to develop it. And if you look back in 2019, when it finally debuted in the QX50, for instance, it literally was the most innovative engine because it gets MPGs like a 4-cylinder turbo diesel or a V6 naturally aspirated engine. But then the problem with it is they added that extra pulley, which, like I said, it sometimes gets stuck and doesn't know where to go. I thought that Toyota should have put a 4-cylinder in the Grand Highlander. I feel that's too big. Shouldn't have. I feel it's too big of a vehicle for that engine. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Sean, it doesn't make sense. Like, we're not really being innovative here. We're literally just throwing a quick fix to everything. We basically are doing everything we did back in the 80s, where they started throwing turbos on every damn thing, saying, oh my God, look, you can get so much power out of a turbocharged engine. You can, but I mean, let's change it up. Let's actually put something that can move these cars. The cars weigh 4,500 pounds almost on an average. The damn V8 engine alone weighs around 900 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And then if you put a 4-cylinder that weighs a feather and you remove that V6 or the inline 6 or even an 8-cylinder out of that hood, well, now you've literally made the front weigh less, which means if you start sliding around and you get like a rear-wheel drive configuration, that's just a recipe for an accident, because it's going to be too tire happy. It's not going to stay planted because you lost probably 300 to 400 pounds in the front at least, just because you're putting a smaller engine to go by, oh, well, the government, we have to do this, we have to do that. They knew this stuff years in advance, and every single president that comes into power changes the EPA. They do it every like 4 to 6 years. And with that being said, it usually takes another additional 4 to 6 years before they actually implement the law. So they've had plenty of time to change the configuration and actually make something innovative. American manufacturers are the worst. No innovation when engineering giving. Yeah, I mean, I think that goes with every company nowadays. They're really just looking to offset and make it as inexpensive as possible, so that way they can save money. The S2000 for a short time was the highest HP per. Yeah, that is kind of interesting when you start putting things into perspective. And when you're looking at what our performance numbers have went to back in the 90s, like the late 90s, 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds, under 4 seconds, 0 to 60s, those were times that were incredible. Now, when we're getting like a 4.5, people were saying, oh my God, it's so fast. We haven't went anywhere. All we're doing is adding plastic screens inside, in putting these small turbocharged 4 cylinders in some companies like Chevy. They're doing turbo 3s. You were in one. What did you think about that?
It was crap.
I mean, it's interesting. Thanks for reviewing Elantra in. It is a great value for money. Recently I replaced with brand new engine Elantra in. It costs even less than 2,000. Nice 4-cylinder. The Elantra in is an awesome vehicle. Actually, we were at the service department a few weeks ago because we were doing some service work with Hyundai and Genesis and going through different things of what they do and whatnot. And one of the techs, he has a Elantra in, and he's doing a stage 2, I think he said, and it cost about $2,500. Because it was funny enough, I was talking to Issa about it. I said, you wouldn't want to stage 2 it or anything like that because it's like 34 grand car. If you put $5,000-$10,000, you might as well go into a different vehicle. But then when he said it was like $2 grand, $2,500, I was like, that's not bad at all. Hyundai, I think they do an excellent job. ICE engines may be mixed in terms of innovation. I mean, right now, they're literally just putting batteries. You're seeing it on every vehicle. They're calling it mild hybrid systems with a 48-volt mild hybrid technology. They're not really doing anything groundbreaking. And I get it. It costs a lot of money to do this stuff. But still, if you're going to go this route and you really are trying to change something for the better, you need to have it where it can actually motivate the vehicle. And realistically speaking, a 6-second 0 to 60, and the reason why I say 0 to 60 is so you can understand. If you're going on an interstate, you're not flooring it. So you're hitting maybe 2.5, 3 RPM. That's pretty much a daily driver. Okay, so now you're at like 12 to 13 seconds to get up to about 70, 75 miles per hour. Maybe even 20 seconds. So imagine you get in front of a semi-truck. You're driving this Turbo 4 that gets a 0 to 60 in nearly 9 seconds. Well, now it's taking you about 45 seconds to get onto the interstate. What are you doing? You're creating traffic and you're working the vehicle to death to get onto the interstate and slowing everybody else down. How is this better for emissions? Because the semi-truck now has to slow down, then he got to speed back up. He's using more gas because these car companies are being cheap. That's really that's what it is. I mean, what's your thoughts? I think I've hit it on the head.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really a fan of 4-cylinders to begin with.
I still remember when I opened the hood of a 2025 Infiniti QX60. I opened it. I said, what the hell? They put this engine in this car? I was like, man, I didn't even drive it yet. I was like, no freaking way, because I got it like, it was kind of a hush-hush, them throwing it in. And then later on, you'll see, because I've had several reviews, they've just started telling people they put the damn Turbo 4 in it. Did I mess up? No. I came up with something better than Toyota and about to cause an accident. Yes, I agree. Literally. And that's the sad thing. Like, think about, even with, for instance, me and Rizzy were in traffic today, several areas. For some reason, Florida is ridiculous. They just close roads down for no reason. So they made a 6-lane, a 2-lane, and all of a sudden traffic's everywhere. So obviously we're trying to merge in with this Turbo 4-cylinder that weighs like nearly 4,500 pounds. And it's not the longest vehicle. It's maybe 190 inches, give or take. Ground clearance sucks. It's under 7 inches because they got to be more dynamic looking. That being said, I'm trying to merge in. People are speeding up because they have, bigger engines. Bigger engines meaning most of the cars were trucks. I don't know why there were so many damn trucks on the road, but typically they're, 6-cylinder and 8-cylinder. But even with that, those damn 8 cylinders only getting like 395 horsepower, and that's like a Hemi. That's pathetic. Like, what are you boasting about? You could get that in a 4-cylinder. Literally, the Turbo 3 GR Corolla gets 300 freaking horsepower. That's a Turbo 3. So imagine if they had a Turbo 6 in it, it would have 600 horsepower in theory if you put 2 of the engines together, because it's literally a baby engine. It's smaller than a milk jug, getting that much freaking power. And you got this big freaking Hemi with 395 horsepower taking over the road, and I can't go anywhere because I'm in a damn Turbo 4. It's just ridiculous. And it's funny because a lot of people in the comments of like these Turbo 4 vehicles, they'll say things like, well, it moves good for me. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's because you never had a 6-cylinder.
I mean, yeah, it's slower engine.
It
Not
is.
used to a bigger engine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate the way the whole engineering is going, and with the electric styling, I don't know. I think BMW is doing a good job, like I said at the beginning, because they give you basically, you know, a choice. You can get gas, you can get hybrid, and you can get electric. And they're not like going small like AMG did, and now Mercedes is turning around saying, you know what, we're going to put the V8s back, or we're going to do an inline 6-cylinder, just like Stellantis did with their V8s, which was absolutely ridiculous. Because I still remember when I went to Dodge and Ram, every one of them were like, well, when you come here, we're always going to have a V8. Sadly, they haven't had one for a year. And you go there now, and some of those people, they've left because they're pissed off that they don't have that engine. And now they're coming back, and Stellantis is saying, yeah, we made a mistake. Well, instead of saying you made a mistake, fix it and make it better. But again, the companies that I feel that are moving forward, Mazda's doing a great job. Toyota, I feel they're doing what they normally do. I mean, hybrids, they're known for their hybrids. So I'm okay with that. You know, throw in a Turbo 4. But when it goes to these larger vehicles, put in an inline 6. Give us a little bit more power like Mazda does. I appreciate that from them. Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis, I think they're actually moving the most forward compared to a lot of companies. I mean, you've seen it yourself. Only reason why I wouldn't go Genesis is I was a little disappointed when we were in the service. And I got to see service mixed. And I was like, well, hold on a second. This is like a 90 grand. And, you know, the G90 is $105,000. That same car is being serviced where they're servicing 25 grand cars. And I'm okay with that. I just didn't see a certified technician that was Genesis there. That's what, you know, kind of twisted it for me a little bit.
It was Hyundai.
All Hyundai. And I'm sitting there like, so the Hyundai worker's giving me the inside of Genesis, which is completely fine if he's certified for Genesis, but then you come to find out it's literally kind of the same. But then when I'm sitting there watching some of the stuff they're doing, it was a little discouraging because I just feel like they're doing so great moving forward. I personally can't wait till Genesis separates and has their own dealerships because I think that it's going to change a lot. I mean, especially with the interior technology and what you're getting. Only 14 to 30% of actual energy from gasoline is actually used by modern engines. Maybe they need to think of how to tap into more energy in the fuel. I agree. Again, they can do and pay for these scientists to figure it out, but they're not. They're doing quick fixes. They don't care. And unfortunately, you and me are the buyers that get the guinea pig from it, and look what we get out of it. A car that can pretty much get you into an accident or something that's not going to last. They're making the vehicles like big screen TVs. That's really what they're doing. You know, if you want a nice TV, you're going to have to spend $2-3 grand, right? If you want a nice car, I hate to say it, you got to spend nearly $100,000 or more. Anything underneath that, it's going to be questionable because they're trying to make it a lot more disposable. Isn't it?
Yeah.
McLaren? Well, we're going to close it up for this week's live stream. Thank you guys for coming out. Don't forget to check out the subscription page. We do where you get the videos before they're posted. We do 2 a week that way. We also do some shorts through there and bloopers. When a good manual car that you think is worth it. Oh, what is? I like the Elantra N. The heel to toe is a little tricky because of the way the pedals are laid out, but I think you'll have a lot of fun with that, and it's great value. You as well have a great weekend, Sean. And check out the new channel, Supercar Throttle. We have some performance stuff we've been doing, 0 to 60 things, and we also have the MC20 Cello on there for the full review, which we're going to post a full review here in the next couple days. Thank you guys for coming out, and have a great weekend. We'll see you on the next review. There we go.